Good morning, students. Today we'll discuss about WBC. WBC, they are known as white blood cells because of their color, and they are the real fighters and soldiers of the body. The WBCs or the leukocytes, they are the cells of immune system which are involved in defending our body against both infectious diseases as well as the foreign material. 5 different types of leukocytes they are present. They are formed from the bone marrow by a process known as leukopoiesis. They are formed from hemopoietic stem cells. The WBC, they live for about 3 to 4 days in average human body. And WBCs, they are found throughout the body. They are present in the blood as well as the lymphatic system. In this diagram, you can see the blue colored cells, bluish colored, they are the WBCs, whereas the pinkish colored cells, they are the RBCs there. Now look at this figure. In this we can say this is promyelocytes with larger cells, rounded nucleus, and it changes into myelocytes. In the myelocytes, the granules, they become distinguished and they are stained differently with the different dyes. That is, acidophils, they are stained by acidic dyes, basophils, they are stained by basic dyes, and neutrophils by neutral. Then the myelocytes, they will be formed into the band cells. That is the eosinophils, they are the kidney shaped nucleus is there. Even in the case of the neutrophilic myelocytes, the shape is again the indented nucleus is there, horseshoe shaped. So in the case of the band cell, almost the horseshoe shaped is there. But in the case of the segmented form or the mature cells, we can see that in the case of eosinophils, the horseshoe shape is there, whereas in the case of neutrophils, 3 to 5 lobed nucleus is present, whereas in the case of the basophil, S-shaped nucleus is present. So, leukopoiesis is a form of hematopoiesis in which WBCs are formed from the bone marrow. WBCs arise from the bone maturation of hematocytoblast, which are germinal stem cells for all blood cells and platelets, into various pluripotent stem cells, which can then further differentiate into different classes of WBC. So WBC, basically they are of 5 types, that is granulocytes and agranulocytes. Granulocytes, they are of 3 types, eosinophils, neutrophils and basophils, whereas agranulocytes, they are of 2 types, that is the monocytes and lymphocytes. So the monocytes, they develop from promonocytes, and the lymphocytes, they develop from pro-lymphocytes in a separate line. Now coming to the agranulocytes. Agranulocytes, they are not having granules in their cytoplasm. They are of 2 types, that is monocytes and lymphocytes. Coming to the lymphocytes, they are the smallest, 9 to 14 micrometer in diameter, and they constitute 20 to 25% of agranulocytes. So nucleus is rounded or oval and usually same size as that of the erythrocyte. The chromatin is densely packed with no apparent nucleoli. When compared with nucleus of other cells, the lymphocyte nucleus almost appears smudged. The cytoplasm is scanty and stains pale blue. The lymphocytes are composed of 2 subpopulations, T lymphocytes and B lymphocytes. The T lymphocytes, they are responsible for cell-mediated immune response, whereas the B lymphocytes, they are associated with the humoral immune response. The lymphocyte is a type of WBC in the vertebrate immune system. Now coming to the monocytes. Monocytes, they are 3 to 8% of the total leukocytes. The large cells are slightly stained nucleus and often appears kidney-shaped or horseshoe-shaped. The chromatin appears lacy and nucleoli are usually not apparent. The nucleus looks a bit like a brain. Monocytes migrate into connective tissue and become macrophages. Monocytes have two functions in the immune system. Number one, replenish resident macrophages and dendritic cell under normal state. Second, in response to inflammation signal, monocytes can move quickly at the site of infection in the tissues and drive into macrophages and dendritic cells to start the immune response. Number of leukocytes in the blood is the indicator of the disease. There are normally 7,000 WBCs per microliter of the blood. They make up approximately 1% of total blood volume in a healthy adult. Increase in their number over the upper limit is known as leukocytosis, and decrease in the number below the limit is known as leukopenia. The physical properties of leukocytes such as volume, conductivity, granularity may change due to activation and presence of immature cells and the presence of malignant leukocytes in leukemia. Proteases. Now see here in this is a neutrophils trapping the bacteria. So microbes adhere to the phagocyte. Phagocyte forms pseudopodia, which eventually engulf the particle. Phagocytic vesicle containing antigen is known as phagosome. This phagosome is fused with lysosome to form phagolysosome. Here the enzymes they act on it and they kill the bacteria, digest the bacteria, and the residual body is formed. The useful things they are absorbed and later the residual body is thrown out with the process known as exocytosis. So my sincere thanks to www.google.com for providing us beautiful pics so that we can explain our topic well.